Hi guys, it's Mike here. I'm back today with my Easter card series 2017 number 6. And here it is. Really cute, simple, but yeah, I sped up the video twice the speed. So it took me about half an hour, just so you know. Still not long. I'm using the Spectrum Aqua markers, and I did a test to see if it fit. And I want to use the bunny from Art Impressions Easter Blessings and Vrolijk Pasen, which is Happy Easter in Dutch from Marianne Design. You've seen that before. And the Studio Light die that makes a frame. And I'm using Bristol paper and Schut watercolor paper. And the Bristol paper I'm gonna use for the front and the frame. And I also die cut a few extra flowers that come in the set too, because you can layer them. In the end I chose against it because it made it really busy, and I want the attention on the bunny and not on the little flower things. So it comes off. You're supposed to use it as a frame, but I put it back in and then I attach it with Scotch tape so it doesn't come apart, because even the little flowers are loose, I guess. And I hope you can see okay. I'm looking back doing the voiceover. I think it's quite dark on my screen, but I turned on the light later and I think that was a bit too much. They promised us sunny weather and it's not. So for the sentiment, Happy Easter. Oh yeah, you can see my trick. If you turn your magnets, they repel each other instead of clicking together. But with 4 that's a bit difficult to make sure they all repel each other. But if you have 2, you can just turn it around and they won't snap together and take off the skin of your fingers. And the Vrolijk Pasen only fits up or at the bottom, and I chose to go at the bottom. It's a bit long. By the way, these magnets I got them off eBay, and I just looked at the thickness of them, not really at the size. I went for 3mm and something that was a little bit bigger, so they're stronger. Because I lost my one round magnet that comes with the Misty, and I had one and it wasn't enough. And guess what? I found it again. Yeah, but I'm still gonna use these nice rectangular ones. So because I use VersaFine, I'm gonna heat set it. And then I'm gonna place the Art Impressions bunny. I think the set is versatile because there's bunny just in like a meadow with flowers, and there's one that's sleeping in a flower. It could be a baby card, that one, and the other ones could just be spring cards, or if somebody really loves rabbits or is getting a rabbit for her birthday. Little girls, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, Intense Black from Sam's Stamp. I just got it in and I love it because I don't need to stamp it as often as the Licorice Black from My Favorite Things. Usually just once, but today I had to do twice, which is still better than 3 or 4. But it's just me, I'm sure. And I don't need the whole panel, so I'm cutting it down. And I'm using a bit of water and pencils, really small pencils. And the aqua markers. And basically what I do is put some of the marker in the spots that are darkest, and then I wash it out. You don't have to do it actually, you could just color the whole image, but then you don't really get the watercolor look, I think, if you just get a really bright pink dot. And then this is where I forgot that the eggs are round. There should be a shadow on both sides. And I zoomed in for your convenience. See, that's if you wash them out, you get a really nice watercolor look. Otherwise, it just looks like markers, I guess. But yeah. So I went for kind of Easter colors, yellows and pinks and greens and a little bit of purple. There's no black in my set. I only have one aqua set, which is the florals, and there's no blue or brown. So in the end, I went for some distress inks to color the bunny. And I thought I chose 2 areas that weren't touching, but yeah, I didn't think about it too much. So they bled a little bit, but I decided to heat set after each color, so just to be safe. And if you don't have aqua markers, I guess you can use distress markers. Tombow markers, I think, is water soluble, or zig markers if you have those. Pencils, and there was another one, the marker that distress markers. Did I say that? I don't remember. But yeah, anything water based. You can even use your distress inks. And I just got a little bit of plastic packaging to show you can also put it on a palette kind of thing and then wash it out, which I'm doing outside the frame. I didn't notice that. Sorry. The yellow is really light, so if you wash it out, you almost don't see the difference. So I think with the lighter color, it's better to do it like that. And there's no brown in the marker, so as I said, you can make a brown with the orange and a bit of purple, but I went for distress inks. And I went for Tattered Rose for the pink in the ears, and Brushed Corduroy for my bunny. I wanted him to be a bit of, oh sorry, I moved the camera there. I wanted him to be colored, because I chose not to do the background. You can fill in with blue like a sky, but I thought I will make it too colorful. You see, when I put the frame on, I want the attention to be on the bunny and not on the sky. You can also do partial sky just around him and fade it out, but I just went for my clean and simple look. So I'm just putting on a thin layer, and then I'm going back with a bit of more concentrated Brushed Corduroy. And I don't have the distress markers, so you could do this with the markers as well, just to stay in the topic. I don't have them, so yeah, I can't. And for the ground, I'm just using a bit of aqua marker again and wash it out. Just so he's not floating in space or in the frame, see? And you can leave the frame with the wreath, I think it is, white. And I would do that if you stack the flowers, and I won't color the flowers as well. But instead I chose to give a little bit of a color in the frame. And trying to pay attention not to go outside the die cut. I guess if you color it first and then put it back, but the flowers might fall out and all the little bits, so I didn't want to risk that. I'm just being careful with my coloring. And the Bristol water paper, or the Bristol, smooth paper is not really for watercoloring, but it takes a bit of water, and it's ideal with markers that you don't require too much water. So I'm using kind of the same colors that I used on the egg, and I'm grouping the flowers in threes, so I'm making little clusters of the same color, just to keep it more tranquil. And I'm putting just a little dot in the middle where the darkest is, and then I wash it out. You can see. I don't need to tell you all this, do I? And then just the last color. There's another cluster of 3 left below the orangey or coral one, but I kept it simple, and it's in a triangle situation placement. So I noticed that my card base wasn't big enough. I didn't cut the Bristol to size properly. Well, that wouldn't have fit. So I'm glad I didn't. I don't measure these things out, do I, before I start a card. So I just went to cut another card base, and I'm tracing where the bunny needs to go, and I'm trimming a little bit off the top so it doesn't stick out. You can see it if you mount it with foam tape. So plenty of tape runner, because it's watercolor. It didn't warp at all, but it's very heavy. So I'm mounting the panel with foam tape. This is a release paper. I don't only use it for my foam tape. I also made some enamel accents and Nuvo drops on there to see how they hold up. And then I have to say the Nuvo drops, they keep the dome better than the enamel accents. I'm sorry. If you prepare them, don't prepare the enamel accents in advance, because they will flatten out. And I have a video on that if you want to see. I've tried it on different backgrounds and they all went out. See, there's even a little bubble in there from the enamel accents. But I use the Nuvo drops, glitter drops, and then silver moon dust to embellish the other 3 flowers that are left. And I'm using little bits of foam tape just to pop up the flowers that are sticking out. They're not supported at all, and they might just break off. See, there's I keep finding them around the room because I keep working with that release paper and the dots fall off. But yeah, they're supposed to. So just a little bit of glue dot. If you prepare them in advance, they're not sticky anymore. But if you just put the Nuvo drop on your project while you're working, you don't need to do that because they stick by itself. So I consider this card done. We'll be back on Tuesday with another card, and thank you for watching, and I will see you again, well, Tuesday. So bye.